I'm going to invite Kristen up here to talk about her work in building her green team. Thank you.
So my name is Kirsten and I'm from the International Center. We were actually voted the most active green team a couple of months ago, which was quite an honor. And I want to start off by saying that Anna just described all of the qualities of a good leader. I'm not so sure I have any of them, but I'm going to do my best to kind of explain, what we've done and where we're going with things. We started the green team last year, I think as a lot of us did. We received the email and basically I thought it would be interesting to kind of take charge with something. I'm a study abroad advisor, so I'm one of the program assistants in my office, and we don't have a lot of opportunities necessarily to do a lot of exciting new things. So I thought this would be a really great opportunity, and it's something that I'm interested in personally. So what I'm going to do, I'll tell you a little bit about some of the activities that we've done, and then I'm going to talk about some of our goals for the future and the challenges that we've faced over the past year. We have about a fourth of our office in the green team. We have about 40 people in the office and about 10 that regularly contribute to the green team. We sometimes have more, sometimes have less. I would say we've probably had at least a third of the entire office who's participated in the green team, which is really exciting. The biggest thing has been that different people in our office are always coming up with new ideas. And I think that's been the biggest thing to see. Over the past year, we've implemented 3 new recycling programs for our office. The first was just simple, bottles and cans. We didn't have any place to put bottles and cans. We're in the hub, which is a huge food facility, and yet everything was trash in our office. So we have a little recycling bin that's about that tall, and it gets emptied. We just bring it to one of the big recycling bins outside. We're looking forward to Physical Plant coming in pretty soon, and I guess they're going to be giving us the actual permanent recycling bins, and so we're pretty excited about that. But we've also put forth some different recycling programs in terms of things like washcloths. We have one bathroom in our office, and we were using the lovely brown thing that's supposed to be paper that's supposed to dry your hands. We've been using that for the past few years. Well, instead, someone went to the dollar store and picked up a lot of different just plain white washcloths, just stacks of them. And we use those now. We have a wire rack, and then when we're done, after we've dried our hands, we put it back in the wire rack. And then someone takes all the washcloths home at the end of the week. I don't know who does it changes weekly, but they just go through and wash them, which is really nice for us. It's made things a lot easier. We've definitely noticed the amount of waste decreasing. Some of the other things we've just put forth are we use reusable dishware and silverware now, even for our big events that we host in our office. If we have parties, we try to use our own silverware that someone brought in as opposed to plastic. We've switched a lot of our documents over to electronic, so even our pre-departure for study abroad, it was a 40-page document, 2,000 students. We put that online. So that alone is saving 80,000 pages of paper annually, which is huge. Plus now we can also verify that students have read it because they have to actually sign it electronically. So that's a really big step for us. Some other things that we've done, we send out the regular emails that come through, sustainability emails go out to the office, and we also create our own. One went out this morning just stating if you're wondering if your house has a water leak, check your monitor twice daily. Check the, I guess it's outside gauge twice daily and see, how you're noticing the water increase. So it's just interesting to see the little tips that are going out. So we just had a meeting 2 weeks ago, and some of the issues that are still coming up, we'd like a 4-day work week. And that's something we'd really like. We think it would save energy. We're actually going to wait. We're getting a new dean in pretty soon, so we might take that up at that point, depending on where UF sentiment is with that, because that's obviously going to be critical. Another issue that we've been having is that we think the air conditioning is too strong. And also we just switched to a new IT office. And when we switched to the new IT office, we were told we have to leave the computers on overnight. And that's something we're not happy with, and we know that that's an issue that's been recurring throughout many different offices here at UF. So we're going to kind of keep an eye on those. Our newest projects that we're hoping to push forth, we want to have a compost bin. And we think it would be a great idea. The challenge we're running into, we're in the hub, which is on the center of campus. We're not exactly sure where we can put it. So we're going to think about that for a while, but that's something we're hoping to put forth in the future. We're also hoping to do a lunchtime lecture series and get some people maybe from IFAS or from other branches who can come in and talk about things like gardening. Maybe things like canning vegetables, just things that we're not we may not know that much about, but just learn more about it. And then we want to really work on formalizing our emails that we're sending out with sustainability tips so that they go out on a weekly basis or a little bit more formal than that. In our office, we've been fortunate. We have a lot of people who are interested in sustainability, which has been big. Having the support, especially of the administrators, has really helped. It's also helped that everything we've implemented hasn't cost them anything. So everything we've done, whether it's been me bringing in a recycling bin from home or washcloths coming in, someone contributed them to our office. So we've been very fortunate that we do have a lot of support. But I think one of the reasons why we do have support is because we're not pushing it too hard to our staff. And that's kind of been the challenge. You know, we really want everybody interested in sustainability, but in the same sense, if we're pushing it too much, you know, if I go up to my colleagues and say, hey, you know, why are you drinking out of that plastic cup? One of my colleagues did that. Actually, we had a green team meeting a few months ago, and one of my colleagues was sitting right next to me with this nice plastic cup. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the presentation, she goes, oh my God, this is the wrong meeting for this. You know, we don't care ultimately. You know, we would like people to make choices that are sustainable, but we know that not everybody does. And I think that's been a big part. Whenever we have a green team meeting, we're opening it up to everybody in the office. You know, if new people come, great. If some people who came last time don't want to come this time, that's fine too. I'm still sending out the sustainability emails all of the time to all of my colleagues in the hopes that, you know, something triggers, you know, in somebody. Maybe, you know, one person who normally isn't interested in sustainability really wants to get involved in one less car. So that's really helped. Another thing that we've really done is anytime anybody has an idea, we try it. It doesn't matter what the idea is, we're willing to try it and just see how effective it will be. The CFL exchange last year that we had, one of my colleagues was very excited to get involved in it. And he made it his mission. He went to every single one of our other colleagues and said, how many light bulbs are you going to contribute? How many light bulbs are you going to contribute? And followed up daily. We ended up with 150 light bulbs that we exchanged. So we were pretty excited by that. On the flip side of it, with one less car, we were excited to get involved with that. And we had a colleague who said she was really excited to take on that project, never followed through with it. So hopefully next year we'll be able to kind of reevaluate that and find someone maybe who can be a little bit more involved in it. So I think the biggest thing with our office is just that we've kept things really, really fluid. We want sustainability to be something that everybody thinks about, but in the same sense, we don't want to become dictators who are saying, hey, you know, this is what you have to do. We're really proud of what we've done. We think there's many more places we can go with it, and we look forward to just keeping everybody involved in any way they can be. So that's kind of what we've done.
We'll have some discussion towards the end. Our next presenter is going to be Mike Barcelo from UF Foundation, and his green team is relatively new, and so I thought that might also be a good intro for people as well that are just starting with the green team. Two quick things really quick. I know that some people came in a little bit late, and this is your lunch hour, and there's plenty of food over there, so if you didn't get any food, please help yourself. And then also, I think Todd had one more shout out from the back that he wanted to mention about the task lighting.
Oh, I forgot to mention that if you're thinking about what illumination would be appropriate for a computing environment, this illumination in this room right now is about accurate to what comes off of a computer monitor. And when you come back to look at the task light, you'll get a good idea of how well that lights your work surface. And this is appropriate to what you should be computing at. And that may be a major adjustment for a lot of people. So this is an idea of how low